Governor Wike threatens another lockdown in Rivers State. So now, those of you that know what is going on in Rivers State will understand, and now there's already been like a spike in the number of cases of COVID-19 in Rivers State, which is one of the reasons why the governor is complaining, and he has been giving all these like bellicose orders since. So that's actually one of the reasons. You remember that a couple of weeks ago, he actually ordered the demolishing of up to 2 major hotels in Rivers State because they were flouting the orders of the lockdown. And it was like, these people are only going to make this problem worse. They're only going to cause more problems. More people will get infected, and this thing is just going to go on like a wildfire. So right now, he must be feeling very, very justified for what he did back then, even though most people don't support him. And of course, I don't support him for doing that. You are basically ruining part of the economy because of what you think is inappropriate in a way. So that's not the way to react. There are many reasons why that is actually very, very bad for him to have done that. But again, the citizens are now complaining that no, we cannot endure another lockdown. Yes, we understand what is happening. We understand that this thing is serious. We understand what is going on. It is dangerous and all of that. But we also know that it's not as dangerous for the young ones out there. So why don't you allow the young ones to be the ones out there and carry on with their lifestyles and be able to feed themselves and be able to, procure a sort of livelihood for themselves? So why do you have to lock everybody down? Let those ones who are vulnerable be at home. No problem. Isolate those ones who are vulnerable. If anybody tests positive, that's also one of the reasons why you have to ramp up the number of tests you carry out in the state. Right now, it's only Lagos State that's able to run so many tests like that. I think just a couple of days ago, they were able to ramp up their number of tests per day to about 2,000 tests in a day. That's very, very impressive. It's far beyond whatever any state is doing at this moment. Consider the fact that Ondo State has only done like about 400 and something tests up till now. Over how many months? Like about 3 months. They've only done about 400 and something tests, and the state is saying they are going to be doing 2,000 tests in a day. So that is what Rivers State needs at this moment, so that if there's any sort of spike in any of the communities, you can quickly detect it, and then you can do what you can clamp down on that spike. And that's the increase in COVID-19 in that area. So let's say in a particular community, suddenly you just discover that through your testing, people start having more of COVID-19 in that area. You can always do what? Very quickly isolate people in that area, quarantine that area, and then solve the problem. Other people in other areas can keep living their lives. So you don't have to lock down the entire country because a particular city or a particular town is having an issue. You can just take care of it at that moment, and you need everything in the board. Make sure everything is working out all right. We don't have to deny everybody their source of livelihood because of that. So that's what the citizens are saying at this particular moment. And they're also saying that they are not even sure that the lockdown was very effective. Because you have to understand that despite the lockdown that they were having there were still increases in the number of COVID-19 positive cases then. So, okay, we've locked down. Okay, I guess you can blame it on the number of people that were going out, they were flouting the lockdown, they were not obeying the lockdown, for example, like the hotel. But this is not only in Rivers State. Even outside the country, in New York State, they discovered through all their statistics and all of that most of those people during the lockdown, most of those people that were getting the COVID-19, even during lockdown, were not people that were going outside and disobeying the orders. They were actually those people who were staying at home and getting infected at home. About 87% of people that were getting infected during the lockdown were getting infected at home. And the reason why this might actually sound a little bit counterintuitive to you, like, okay, how is that possible? They are not going outside to meet other people, but you have to understand that in places where we have high population density, that is so many people, it means that in a particular apartment, you might have a lot of people in that apartment. Let's say only one person brings it in. Everybody, let's say maybe 10, 20 people in that apartment, everybody gets it. So that's how it works. So that is also one of the reasons why it is increasing a lot in Lagos, because the population density in Lagos is so high. But at least they still have a little bit of testing there. But in Rivers State, this is what is happening. If you keep people at home, they will keep spreading it to each other while at home, because there's no way you can do it. People will still have to go outside and buy something. So let's say when somebody goes out there and buys something, and then you retain the person at home, like about maybe 90% of the time is always at home. And you have to understand that COVID-19 spreads a lot in high humidity areas. When you're at home, there's increase in the humidity because of the heat, the water vapor in the atmosphere and all of that, compared to if you're outside in the afternoon under the hot sun. And we also know that hot sun is able to sanitize the environment from this thing, from all the studies coming from outside the nation, which is probably one of the reasons why we are not having that much of an outbreak in Africa because of our climatic conditions over here. Honestly, most of those European countries are really hoping for the summer to take on like seriously, so that it can at least help them out to deal with the virus. So by the time the summer comes in like fully, it's really going to help them, and that's what they are really hoping for. Many of them, that's exactly what they're hoping for. So we just have it free of charge over here in Africa. So, and it's a very good thing. Add to that the fact that when you're outside, there's going to be a lot of ventilation, there's going to be air moving around, so whatever air you are breathing out, even when you cough or you sneeze, it's not just going to stay there, it's going to diffuse around, so it's not going to have enough viral load to infect somebody else. So that's why there's going to be a decrease in the number of people that are going to be infected outside compared to the number of people inside. So that's actually one thing that many of the citizens are saying. So you can't really say that this thing is as effective as you have been claiming. And it's destroying what? It's destroying livelihood. It's destroying the economy. Some of those jobs that have been destroyed cannot be recovered. Some of those businesses that have been damaged cannot be recovered. Even when this thing comes down, economy is not something that just suddenly snaps up back again. Remember that we are still in the recovery process from what we had, the recession we had in 2016, and now we are going nose diving again, like we are just nose diving again into another recession. Now, according to the CBN, now we've just suffered a big contraction, like basically like a reduction in the growth of our economy in the last quarter. So that's just one thing. It's really happening. It's something that we really need to pay attention to. And then you have to understand that Wike is under pressure at this moment. Like no governor or any government official wants to be blamed for something going wrong. So they are usually pessimists on average. So what they do is that they make sure that no matter what is going to happen, they be on the pessimist side, so that if anything happens, they cannot be blamed. They always want to be overprotective, almost like that overprotected father. So that's what they always try to do. That's why when you're talking about maybe a NAFDAC approving a particular drug, or maybe the FDA in the United States approving a particular drug, they are always extra. Nobody wants to be blamed when it's like it's your signature that signed that thing and approve that thing, and then something bad happens. You understand? So that's it. So when people know that they don't want to be blamed, that's how they behave. So it's almost like, I keep saying it's like CYA, that's cover your ass operation. That's exactly what it is. What all these governors are doing, especially Wike, that's exactly what he's doing. And then even if people are going to be giving us sorts of backlash, especially the demolition of those hotels, you have to know that the reason why it's not going to affect him so much is because he is already in his second term. What are you going to do to him? Unless if he's trying to go for the Senate, there's nothing you're going to do to him. And even if he's going for the Senate, all he has to do is just to be in connection with the right people, and he's going to get it. Just it. Once he's in the right place, he's going to get it. So that's it. So it does not have any sort of obligation towards the people, at least not that strong obligation anymore. That's what people in their second terms always do. It's not only in Nigeria. In the United States, that's exactly what they always do. The president of the United States, once he's in his second term, some of the things he wouldn't have been able to do in the first time because he's afraid that he may not get elected based on those things, he's going to start doing them. This is his last chance to do it. So that's it. That's how those things work. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Please share with your friends, and of course, follow us on Instagram and on Facebook, and I'll be seeing you guys. Bye.